gosh. Putting a camera on is like super. Hello guys. This is so weird because a previous video I was like, oh my gosh, it's been a minute. That video was a hot minute ago, and this is me saying again, it's been a hot minute. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Thank you so much for taking the time out to watch that. Can't even talk. Thank you so much for taking the time out to watch me do what I do. I haven't really been recording, and it wasn't until I picked up my laptop and thought, I feel like I want to like start recording again. But this is me back after, don't know how long, because we're in February now, so that's how long it's been since I've recorded. But anyway guys, yes, today I did a different brow method. Today I didn't use that Sample Beauty brow gel thingy. I actually used the Benefit 24-hour brow setter to pull over hairs it could actually push up, and I used the Fenty MVP pencil in, I think it's like soft black or something, and then I used the NYX pen, Lift and Snatch brow tint pen, and this is in the shade Espresso. It did take a bit longer than it would with the Anastasia Dip brow pomade, but I kind of like it. It's kind of lighter than usual. It's still dark. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Again, it is in my previous video, either the one that comes before this one or the one after this one. I kind of use the same method to do my brows with those products, so let me know what you think. As we are in February, it's the early start of February. I think it's the weekend of the 4th. It's a Saturday, and obviously Valentine's Day is literally just around the corner, so I kind of want to get one or two videos, kind of like, I won't say Valentine's inspired, but kind of some glams that you can kind of like put together for that special night with your special someone, whether it's with your girls, with your guys, girls, partner, whoever, okay? Or if it's just you just want to get glam, there's no harm in that. I got a package from P. Louise. It's a huge package, and it's an eyeshadow palette. I thought, what better way to use this palette than to use it right now? I can't get it open. I'm not gonna. What in the world? So I've been eyeing this palette for some time now, and I finally got it. And this is from the Bridal series. I have a few eyeshadow palettes from P. Louise, and I've already reviewed them on my channel before. They're quite old videos, so I will tag them, okay? I'll put them in a little playlist. I will tag them, but do not laugh at my quality and do not laugh at me. That was the beginning stages of this channel, okay? We have since grown, and with that chick right now, okay? So this, I think I reviewed 2 palettes when that series of the Bridal, I wouldn't say Bridal, but I think like date night and stuff like that. The love tapes, that's it. Oh, it has nothing to do with this. Well, I hope so, because this palette's work. This is the Bridal collection, the Bridal series. So this is a Wedding Wish XL palette, as you guys can see. Obviously in true P. Louise form. It's pink. It's very girly. It's very P. Louise. I've had 2 or 3 of their big palettes, and they were very chunky, very heavy, so I'm kind of happy that they brought out these slimmer palettes. Look how slim that is, as in like the previous ones were like 3 times the size of this palette. It is still big, but it's easy to store. It has a slip, so you can tell that it's still new. Hope none of them are broken. Yes, broken, no broken shadows. But this is the eyeshadow palette. It has a mirror here, but obviously it's not like the best mirror. I was more so intrigued by the latter half of the eyeshadow palette, and it's just basically wedding themed. It says, today a bride, tomorrow a wife, the biggest adventure they'll take on in life. Wait, today a bride, tomorrow a wife, the biggest adventure they'll take on in life. Okay, so we're gonna go into this palette. I want to kind of create a look, a nice, I wouldn't say bridal look, but I want to kind of use these colors. I want to dip into like the nudes, a bit of like a dark outer corner. You know my jam, you know my pizzazz, you know what I do. And if it's your first time here, welcome to the family. I will aim to be consistent. It's hard, especially when you have a full-time job and that job kind of like wants to take over one's life. It's very hard. Yes, I'm not using Pillowies by itself. I'm actually going to go into it now. The Base Pro in Rumor 02. I just used the Revolution Ultimate Base in medium. So I kind of like to mix these two together, if not a concealer. And normally if I was going somewhere, I would use an eye primer, which would be my Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of stuff going on recently. I am not one for social media drama, but Lashgate, I was putting myself in the air. So the color I'm thinking of going into is between Union and Applique. Yeah, perfect. So I'm just mixing those two to kind of get like a base, so that whatever we put in a crease is going to have a nice blend. And so far, so good, no issues. As I've mentioned, previous palettes on Pillowies has been a bit, I want to see what they've done to their formula now, because it has been a while since I've used Pillowies eyeshadow palette. I really like the color story, and most of the reason is I want to see if there's been any change in how their eyeshadows are formulated from when I did use them before. And there's pigment, and this shade is coming up really dark. Okay, and that shade is called Honeymoon. I didn't expect it to be this way, but I'm not going in anymore. I just want to kind of like feather this in, because this was not what I expected. This is not the depth that I expected from this shadow. So the next one I'm going to go into is too big and I'm carrying too many things. Next shade I'm going into is Happy Tears. It's kind of like a brown rustic, I don't know if you guys can see, not brown rustic, but like a browner tone that I was actually expecting from Honeymoon. And we're just going to put this in the crease area as our transition. It's just coming out really nicely. As in, I placed it here, but I'm obviously feathering in or blending it in into the inner part of the eye. But this is coming out really nicely. I'm just going to continue going into Happy Tears with this one. So as you can see, I've blended out that Happy Tears eyeshadow, and you can see that this side is slightly darker. So obviously I've gone into another shade, and that shade is called Tie the Knot. It's a very, very nice wine color. So I'm just gonna deepen this one with you guys. As you can see, once you put it on, it's very pigmented. Pillowies eyeshadows, this one in particular, is doing bits. It is so pigmented, it's so buttery. It's so buttery that it's just so easily blends into each other. The formulation of these eyeshadows so far are really good. The previous one I've had before, which is the Love Tapes, I feel like they were too hard pressed, that it came across a bit too chalky and there wasn't enough pigment. I really feel like her shadows have now got a better feel, a better blendability about them. Look how well that is just blending in to that previous shade. Okay, so let me show you the shades that I've used already. So Happy Tears is the first one I went into, then I went to Tying the Knot, which is obviously deep in the crease, and I'm going to go into Marry Me, which is a deep kind of like purpley eggplant color. So this is gonna go in the outer area. It's not gonna go too far in. It's got a black in there, and that black looks black. Whatever's left on a brush, I'm gonna bring into that crease area. I'm liking this blend. It's so pretty. I'm gonna go into a lighter pink, and it's called I Choose You. It's this one right here. Just a nice little blush pink, and I just want to tickle it on the edge here, just here. This is very Valentine's-y. Valentine's-y, Galentine's-y, whichever way you want to put it. Very nice, and just a flush of that color. So we're gonna cut the crease. I'm gonna go into Blank Canvas, which is this one here, and this is the one that she had with a collaboration with Made by Mitchell. I'm just gonna put some on my little ring thingy, just so that I can get some of the excess off, as well as get that nice and thin, you know, very Pillowies-esque. So I've cut the crease a bit too far than I expected to do it. We're just gonna go into the shades to clean this up. I just didn't want to do it without you guys being here. So I'm back with Tie the Knot. Just want to kind of like make it a bit more seamless. I'm just gonna tap into I Choose You. I've already used this shade already, and we're gonna go 1/3 of the way. And then on top of the lid, I'm gonna go into a shade called Bond and mix a bit of Yearning. These two here, very light shades. Yeah, I just want a nude, but not like a white nude. And that's just laying nice because they're both kind of like pinks. I'm in a pinky mood today, I guess. I think I'm going to do a wing, and with this wing, why do you wear? I want to do a wing, but I want to do it with a purple. Yeah, Bound to You and Marry Me. One of those two shades. So I'm going to mix them together. Since my hiatus, I've kind of been doing my base slightly different. Not saying that this is how I want my base to kind of like, this is how I'm going to be doing my base moving forward. But now and again, it'll be good to like change it up, if that makes sense. I'm gonna use my primers as normal. So this is obviously the e.l.f. You guys should know I'm obsessed. Then I go into my One Size Secure The Blur primer. I'm just gonna focus that in the center as well, my pore areas as per usual. Just bring it under the eyes and push it in so that we get less creasing. Okay, so now what I do is I go straight into concealer. So I'm gonna go into Chai first. I believe this almost like underpainting. Ooh, she's scary. Let's go into a bit of Congo. Almost like a foundation shade for me. It just looks better when it's on top of foundation. So I'm just gonna blend out that foundation stick, because it technically is a foundation stick for me right now because I've got foundation on. And I'm gonna go into blending out the concealer. Didn't really need it to sit, but it sat for a while, and because it's on a matte base, it's gonna dry down slightly quicker than usual. Obviously, if it's on a wet base, it will take time for it to set. Obviously, this is gonna look crazy at first, but it's just the way everything just comes together is really nice. And you use you use less foundation to some degree, okay? So the question is, what foundation, eh? We're gonna use to cover all this up. We're gonna do Juvia's Place, and this is the I Am Magic Natural Radiance Foundation in the shade Marley. I've done a review on this foundation on my channel. Please go ahead and watch that. I'm gonna link it up in the cards up above. One pump for now, okay? I'm gonna put this, actually I shouldn't have put it on my finger, let me just put it straight on the brush. And we're just gonna now place it in the areas where we want to apply the foundation. Okay, and just blend. Yes, we are covering our contour, but it's all gonna come together, okay? This is how I've kind of like tried to work this method. Yeah, I can't remember who mentioned it in the comments in that video that I reviewed this foundation. They said that it was my shade, because I didn't think it was. I think it matches, but I just thought that whenever you're trying something new, it tends to kind of like throw you off anyway. Okay, and you can kind of see where I've placed that concealer and everything else. And I think that's all we're gonna do with this foundation. That is it. So I'm not gonna go into another concealer. I now have Warm Sand as well as Butterscotch. I'm gonna go into Warm Sand. I just recently purchased this because I was thinking Butterscotch for me sometimes can pull a bit too neutral or too cool. And this is just gonna be our highlighting concealer. And because this is now on top of other products, it's not a dry base, we're gonna have to let this one sit for a while. I just love this concealer. So we're gonna let that sit for a while, and then I'm gonna blend it out and we're gonna come back because I've found a new technique. Kind of like now, I'm a new baker. Yeah, I'm fresh to the game. I bake, okay? Not cake, my face, but I'm gonna show you how I do it, so stay tuned. I'll be back. Obviously that's all blended out. I've tried to erase all harsh lines, so I'm gonna go into my LYS Beauty bronzer in the shade Worthy. So this is a No Limits bronzer. So I'm just gonna set my, should we say, the contour areas, the areas where I want to kind of like add depth and shadow. So now I'm going to go into the under eye. So I'm contemplating on which one to use. So I have NW40 and I have NW43. Obviously NW43 is much loved, but it's kind of deep in a sense. So I think I might use this one today because I did use NW40 in a previous makeup look. Get my powder puff. This is a small powder puff. It's an Amazon one. Make sure all creases are uncreased. And then we're just going to go into setting our under eye with this powder foundation. So this is the MAC Studio Fix powder foundation. When I used it again the other day, I was like, oh, I miss using this. It's so smoothing. Like any powder foundation, I mean like good powder foundations would do the same. I'm just going to go into this area. Just basically set all our highlighted areas. Laura Mercier, it's just going to be a light set. So I'm just going to go into my puff, work that product at the back of my hand into the puff, and just go in and lightly set. That's all I'm going to use of that Laura Mercier, and whatever's left, I'm going to put everywhere else. Again, just grab whatever's left on the back of that sponge and just go over. That's all I'm going to use. As you can see, unedited, you saw I didn't use any more than that. So you can see that everything is kind of like coming together. Now, start show. Okay, she's made a comeback and she's coming back to stay. It's Huda Beauty. Because before I used to think that this shade is a bit too light for to go straight in with my under eye, hence why I've been obsessed with the Laura Mercier translucent medium deep. So now I have found a perfect use. So I'm gonna grab that same puff, yeah, and we're gonna get some product. So what I do, I create, you know how you would normally just want to bake under your eye? This is what I'm doing now. So going at the side of my nose and then swiping outwards and pressing whatever's left on the puff, and then the nose. Snatch that nose, baby. So this technique I learnt from Rachel Leary. She said she saw the technique used by Painted by Spencer. People that normally bake, because I'm new to this game, I'm new to baking. People that bake like this, they kind of just set that area. So in order to get a nice kind of like diffused look, grab like a blusher brush. This is mine from Peaches and Cream, and this is PCO3. Just like my other ones, like the Ariel Morphe one has blusher product on it. Grab the blusher brush and just feather the edges of that bake so that you don't get the harshness, so that it looks a bit more diffused. It's still baking, but not heavy baking. It kind of like, I don't know what it does, but it diffuses it into like the rest of your makeup, if that makes sense. So since we're doing a pink look, why not go into some pink blush? And I'm going to use this one from the H&B line. Well, it's a Dare to Be Different line from H&B Cosmetics. It is a vintage blush. Okay, this is in shade Oh So Snatched, and we're just going to, this is a different blusher brush obviously, I'm just going to pop that here. But do you see how it's like diffusing itself into that setting powder, the under eye, diffusing nicely? We'll just bring that under the eye a bit more. And don't worry if you've gone too far, because when we dust off this bake, you're gonna see. So I'm just gonna grab some of that blush and just bring it more so into the temple area. And this is just gonna give us a nice kind of like hue of the pink, so that the story doesn't stop at the eyes, goes onto the face. I'm doing too much. Blush is the first thing to disappear off one's face, so that's why I'm going ham, okay? That's why you're seeing a lot. So you can bake as long as you want. You don't have to necessarily bake for a long period of time. So to dust this off, I'm going to use my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Dark. I go into the product just kind of like, because it's very finely milled, you're not really going to pick up a lot, but it's just a little bit. You can always dust it off as well, and just go in and dust off that bake. You can use a powder foundation to do this as well. You can use a face powder to do this, but for me, this is just light enough that it doesn't feel like I'm piling another layer of product onto the face. Do you see how we still have the bright center of the face? Everything is diffused, everything is looking nice, stunning. So I haven't used Morphe in quite some time, and I can't remember where my other ones are. So I'm gonna go into the one, this is like the duo that they kind of released over Christmas, and I got it for £13. I'm gonna go into my Morphe spray because I feel like it's just gonna bring everything together. Oh, that continuousness, I miss it. I'm gonna go put some lashes on. Lips, it's probably just gonna be a standard nude. I'm not gonna do anything pinky because I think it'll just be too much. So I'll be right back with the finished face, and then we can just wrap up this video. So guys, as you can see, I am back. Obviously, duh. But yes, this is the face. Eyeshadow look is giving me circa first year of my channel, first Valentine's look I actually ever did. And I think I used the Beauty Bay New Romantic palette or something like that, or New Romance. I'll link it up in the cards up above. But this is what it's giving me. It's giving me that vibe. It's giving me proper nostalgia. Like, I absolutely love what the eyes is giving. I love it. It's not a look that I usually do, like a very pinky look. But yeah, for the lips, I went into Vieve, in the shade Vieve, and I use Morphe Chill to kind of give like a gloss. Can we just talk about the face? The smooth shape. It may seem like a lot of products, but sometimes a lot is good, as well as a little is good as well. In this case, it was just to kind of like get a nice bright under eye. Obviously, my skin type is oily, and I've realized actually it's not actually just oily, it's oily combination. It could be a seasonal thing, I'm not quite sure yet, because I started having dry areas where my face was kind of like flaking. I thought maybe because I used a pad, I think I exfoliating pad that kind of gave me spots. That wasn't the case. It was actually a new face wash that I was trying out. I think a product in that kind of like flared up my skin. I'm going to continue to monitor how my skin is kind of like performing, especially as we move from the drier, colder season to the more spring, summer, you know what I mean? But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you. This is yeah, the look one. I shall, maybe tomorrow or next week, I'll try and squeeze another Valentine's makeup look, maybe something more less traditional, so we're not like talking like the pinks and stuff like that. So if you would like to see that, please stay tuned, because I'm gonna bring the look. But anyway guys, thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed what you saw, okay? And as per usual, do not forget to like, comment and subscribe, okay? We need to grow. I need to do more so we can grow as a family, as a sisterhood, as a general community on this channel. And yeah, we're gonna make it happen this year. We definitely are gonna make it happen. But yes, thank you guys so much. Again, do not forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I shall see you guys in my next video. Toodles. Yes. Louise. Okay, I see what you guys are doing now. I'm here for it. I'm here. Get your time. Yeah.